Good. Can the camera see the TV? Hey everyone. Good. Welcome. I want to encourage all of you who are Cellercising, want to join me tonight. We're going to be doing a little bit of a different routine. It's going to be almost 45 minutes long. So if you don't want to participate for the whole thing, I totally understand. For those of you who do, I'm going to take you through a program that's more designed for weight loss, increasing metabolism, and building up muscle to fat ratio, so that we can start using a program that is going to absolutely give results. Now, when we do it, call your friends, call anybody you know who might benefit and want to be on this program. This is the kind of program which is best done watching a television show. You watch the show, you're on the Mr. Rebounder app, and it will ding in between each movement, as you know, and you get lost in the show. The time can go by very quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be grueling. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to go through what we'll be doing in just a few minutes, and I just want to give you a heads up so all those who want to participate can go ahead and get ready. But again, this is the purpose of this program, is to burn calories. Thank you, honey. Burn calories and build up muscle to fat ratio. I want to talk a little bit about weightlifting, then we'll answer some of the questions. Cellercise is very different from typical exercise, but it's extremely effective. It's the only exercise I get. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's very different. You don't target the body as all these muscle groups and body parts. You're targeting the body collectively as a whole. When you alter the angle of your body in certain positions, yes, you can focus the effect on different areas of your body, but the whole body is always going to be involved. Now, with weightlifting, the whole premise behind that is different. It's tearing down to build up. And although it works, it's more of a sport than it is an actual exercise. When you build up muscle mass and bone density by tearing it down to build it up, you're going to compromise the muscles. That's the whole premise. You tear the cell tissue, the body has to repair the tear, so they tell you to do it every other day. The body patches the tear with more protein. Then you tear the patch and it patches the patch and so on and so forth, and it builds up bigger muscles. But the problem is the damage that's done to those muscles. It damages. We're the only species in the world that's learned how to do it. We understand how to manipulate the body, because that's basically what it is, a manipulation of the body. But when you tear down to build up, the muscles will grow faster, they'll get stronger, but the ligaments and the tendons often can be damaged because they take longer to catch up. So if people are building up, bigger muscles and the ligaments and tendons haven't caught up, that's when they end up with shoulder problems or back problems or other issues. In addition to that, the muscles, although they can get a bit bigger, you can lose timing, speed, flexibility, coordination. And I'm not saying you're not strong, you are, you're going to be stronger, but it's at a cost. And cumulatively, that cost can be more damaging. I work a lot with bodybuilders, and the bodybuilders that I work with, they incorporate Cellercise within their training and their program, because the movement up and down flushes out the lactic acid faster, helps promote faster healing, promotes increased flexibility, and they're stronger when they're going to be doing their weightlifting anyway. But for the majority of us, we're not going to be doing weights. We're not going to be weightlifting. Cellercise is weight bearing. The difference is that we're applying that weight to the entire musculoskeletal system, all at over 100 times a minute. But we're also applying that weight uniformly from the top of our head down to the bottom of the feet, through all the fascia. And the fascia are protein fibers that work through the entire body too, that weightlifting generally doesn't even account for. So you've got many more cells working when you are Cellercising than you are when you are targeting specific areas of the body. And it's just more limited. That's why it doesn't take as long to Cellercise. We're going to be doing almost a 45-minute program tonight with G-forces on the entire body. Now that's a lot more intense than targeting certain areas of the body. You're working collectively as a whole. This is literally a whole body routine. Now, I was talking to my daughter who's doing nursing, and she was talking about her back and how she needs to do some weight training to build up and strengthen her back. And although, yes, you can do that, I'm going to show another way that you can literally build up the muscles in the back to make them stronger. And it's very intense, but you're also building up the ligaments and the tendons while maintaining flexibility and an increase of circulation. When you're lifting patients like this all the time, it can be hard on the back. So we want to create a balance in the back and the stomach where they're both strong and flexible and with good circulation without having to tear it down to build it up. Now, if you build up muscles, you're doing it the old-fashioned way, the muscles can get bigger. But if you look at people later in life who have done that and the damage that they've done to their body, when you build up more muscle mass, that's more area for the fat cells to cover. And you'll often notice that people, when they stop doing that routine, they gain a lot more weight. Often they become one of my customers, and I'm grateful to work with them because what we can do is help to create a leaner body again through Cellercise. And Cellercise will give you a lean body, but if you look at, you know who Bruce Lee is, he was a martial artist, very lean. He didn't have a lot of bulk on him at all, but he was extremely strong, very agile, very, very fast. When you tear down to build up, you lose flexibility, timing, and speed because the muscle doesn't perform the same as it did before. So that's not to say, again, that it isn't strong. Yes, they're very strong. And they can be fast, but they're not going to be as fast as somebody who has lean, strong, healthy muscles that have not been damaged. When you Cellercise, you can do it every day, several times a day. You're not tearing down to build up. So again, get ready. We're going to go over a few questions, customer reviews and questions very quickly. So we can spend most of the time doing our program. Angelia says, "Hi Dave, just letting you know I've lost 30 pounds on the Cellerciser alone. After I lost my family, I started binging on ice cream, but caught myself and started a food journey, and now down almost 30 pounds on that 60 pounds off this almost 60-year young lady. Sure feels good. Can't thank you enough for all you do for everyone in our Cellerciser family. Pictures when I reach my muscle-toned body. I'm very proud of myself. Love to you and your family." I think thank you for sharing that. I think we've read that. "All my joints feel so much better after a session on my Cellerciser. Bought my mitochondria sizer in 2017 on the phone from David. Loving it for optimum lung capacity. Robust respiration is where it is at. Rebounding is also excellent for flushing out senescent cells." You know what that is, Brooklyn? From dry fasting. Make sure you get that early morning infrared sunlight for subcellular melatonin production. Thank you. All right. Michelle writes, "Well, it is official. I quit running and I am now 100% on my Cellerciser. No more strained and sore knees, hamstrings, sciaticas, and hips. So much easier on my joints. In fact, my body feels way better since I switched. It is way more fun and a better workout." And I didn't hear back from Johanna. I hope Johanna forgives me for sharing this, but she is part of the Cellercise family. She did share it. She did share it with the Cellercise family. I just wanted to share it with all of you. It was just, wow. She's a living testimony of the benefits of Cellercising. She said, "I posted a while ago, I am super pleased with the results I'm feeling from my Cellerciser. I'm sharing a progress pic. These are the same pants, a size 8, the left is me 20 pounds thinner, around 140-ish. At the time, I had a very physically rigorous job and walked 10 to 20 miles a day. My legs fit very snugly in the pants, but the pants were so loose around the waist and they would ride down without a belt. This was a chronic frustration when it came to finding clothes that fit. And almost every pair of pants I would try on had that issue. My upper body was thin with a tiny waist, which created a disproportionate look. My knees were the same size as my thighs. Pants never fit well. She says, she shows a picture of her at 163 pounds in the same pants, 23 pounds heavier, some extra bulge in the waist. The pants are a bit tighter, but by some miracle, my legs, which normally hold most of my body fat, have leaned out. I tried on a bunch of pants, and I think my leg shape has improved from even when I was at a thinner weight. I'm happy with the results so far. There isn't much difference between the two pictures, and that's significant because I gained all my weight in my legs. So usually at 160 pounds, I wouldn't fit into these pants at all because they were already tight around the thighs at 140 pounds. I feel using the Cellerciser has leaned me out in my lower body, even though I'm 20 pounds heavier than at my lean weight. And Johanna, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All of us have issues we're dealing with. A lot of it's genetic, but the body pretty much adapts the same way when challenged. It just does it a little differently. So for those who have not noticed real fast results, there are results that are occurring. So keep at it. And then, as many of us know, those results start to manifest themselves a little bit later. Can you show jumps for calf and mid-back areas? Yes, we're going to deal with that. In fact, that'll be part of our routine. Would jumping help with peripheral artery disease? Quite frankly, that's the closing up of the arteries, which is common hardening of the arteries, the #1 degenerative disease. Dr. Morton Walker, in his book, Jumping for Health, actually explained how Cellercising and rebounding can actually help reverse hardening of the arteries. Well, when we're moving up and down, so is all the fluid in our body. So it's like an internal scrub brush. We have one-way valves. As we move up and come down, those one-way valves may be shut, which causes an expansion around the blood vessels. As we come down, it frees it. So the movement is helping to expand and open up blood vessels and arteries. So we maintain good circulation, which is important. Sometimes I have a horrible headache and I don't want to bounce. I know that it could benefit me if I did. What is the best movement to help alleviate this pain? The movement up, when you do the finger rolls in the back and the neck and you're gently moving up and down, you're pushing in to the vertebral joints with little circular motions, right? In this area, you can move your neck a little bit, but as you're moving up and down, you're moving fluid up and down. The tissue is expanding, contracting. As you're pushing that fluid in between the vertebral joints, it can help release stress and tension. I fell and broke my hand. It is in a cast. Can I still bounce, or will this make things work? Doctors know bones and muscles heal faster and grow stronger when exposed to some stress. That's the idea behind the walking cast. Cellercise helps to create a weight-bearing activity, which improves osteoblastic activity and increases circulation to promote faster healing and help reduce inflammation. So consult with your doctor or health practitioner and let them know about Cellercise, but that moving up and down is being used a lot to help improve faster results. Is it just as beneficial to sit and bounce if I'm struggling to stand? It is extremely beneficial to sit and bounce. It's not going to be quite the same, but until you feel comfortable standing, sitting and bouncing is still going to get movement, circulation, help promote strength. When we're standing, we're going to be challenging our proprioceptors and our vestibular balance a little bit more. But we can do that in graduated steps. So we can start off sitting down. There are people that have even been wheelchair bound who they've been able to sit down on the Cellerciser while somebody else bounces them. Their cells don't know the difference. It's still beneficial. And that's increasing circulation. What's interesting is how it stimulates brain activity and how people who have been in wheelchairs often have been able to get out of wheelchairs and they're starting to walk again. That has happened numerous times. So, yeah, keep sharing and thank you for being part of the family. We're going to go ahead and get started. Ricky, ready? So I hope you have your Cellercisers ready. This is we're going to spend the evening together for those who want to join us. All right. Can you see the screen all right? I hope everyone can see that. Mm-hmm. What we're going to do, I'm going to give you a little overview. we've got 4 pages of movements. So we're going to, again, aerobics, we're going to start off with the health bounce. We're going to do a twist. We're going to loosen things up, get circulation, work on that liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, all those internal organs before we start to really work harder. Then we're going to increase the oxygen into our bloodstream. Cells need oxygen to burn calories and utilize nutrients, and so we're going to increase that oxygen into the cells of our body through the movement up and down as we are breathing and getting oxygen to that other 1/3 of the lung that many people don't get enough oxygen to. Then we're going to do an intense sprint. Now, for those who are not ready for that, you don't have to do it intense, but for those who are, when you do the sprint intense, just lift your knees up. You want to lift your knees up high so that you're working the core. Otherwise, you're robbing yourself of the greater potential. Now, if you can't lift your knees up fast and high, then go slow and just work on getting those knees up so you're working that core. Then we're going to do the health bounce. We're going to do the Jamba run. The Jamba run is going to be, and if you can't do the Jamba run, do the Jamba walk, because we're going to be doing it for a full minute. And that's going to work the thighs and the knees and the big muscles of the body. Big muscles of the body have a great demand for fuel, so we're going to be doing repetitions of that, so we're burning up the glucose and the sugars in the bloodstream, and then as we continue to do the routine over a longer period of time, the demand is still on these muscles. They have to find more fuel, so now they're going to go after the white adipose tissue, and that's our stored fuel. We'll do the Jamba run again, the health bounce again. We'll do a sprint intense again. We're going to do a warm-up hip rock as we're basically catching our breath again and restoring some homeostasis. And we're going to do the Jamba run again. We're going to do the health bounce while we catch our breath. And we're going to do a sprint moderate. So a little easier. And on that sprint moderate, if you want to tilt backwards just a little bit, you're going to be working this whole front area of your body as well. And we're going to do the twist. Then we're going to do the stomach run again, which is leaning back a little bit. Then we'll do the health bounce. We're going to do the ski patrol. The ski patrol is where we're you can simply rock side to side if you want. For those who are able to, excuse me, we're going to be hopping side to side. Then we'll do the Jamba run again for 30 seconds. We're going to do the health bounce 30 seconds. We'll do the twist for 30 seconds. The whole body is helping to become more acclimated and balanced in those movements. And we're going to do the power breathing again to increase the oxygen bloodstream so that the cells, that we don't build up as much lactic acid or get sore or not be able to utilize or burn those calories effectively. Then we'll do sprint moderate again. We'll do the health bounce for 30 seconds, the Jamba run for a minute. And we'll do the health bounce again for 30 seconds. And we're going to do the sprint moderate, health bounce, power breathing. Then we're going to start working on some muscles. So we'll do the arm curls. We're going to do that for 2 minutes the first time. We'll be counting to the count of 1, 2, 1, 2. And we'll do the right and the left, and then we'll do it again. So we'll do it the first time, we'll do it for 2 minutes. The second time, we'll just do it for a minute. So we're going to really work those muscles. Then we're going to do the shoulders, and we'll do swirls in the front, swirls to the side, swirls up. We'll do all of those twice for a minute each. Then we're going to do the modified jumping jack. Now the modified jumping jack is going to be working on the calf muscle, and it's going to be working on the back. It's intense. When you do the lean forward, all these muscles are going to tighten up in the back. And you're going to be leveraging that weight as you move up and down and kick your legs out behind you. Now, if you can't kick your legs out behind or you feel that back starting to tighten up, you don't go hard on that. This is intense, okay? We're going to be doing that for the back kick for a full minute. So as we're kicking back, we're lifting from here as we're doing it. And that's working the lower back. And you can do that as much or as low as you want, but that's effective. Now, when you begin, if you're not strong enough right here, just lift your heels up a little bit, and you're still going to feel it back there. So, all right, so then we're going to do the shoulder pump. So that's what arms go up and down over the head, and we're going to go, we'll do a couple different movements like that for about a minute. Then we're going to be doing the shoulder swing. So we'll be swinging, working the shoulders, helping to balance them out. Again, we're going to do the whippy ski patrol, so we can start loosening all of that up and work with the upper back and as well. Then we'll do the front kick for the stomach area, and we're going to do that sit and bounce. We'll do that for a bounce and crunch, which Brooklyn is very good at. And then we're going to do the twist for 40 seconds. We'll do the chest and shoulders. We'll work on that area on the Cellerciser. We'll do that a couple times, where we push in and then we pull out. And we'll do that for about 45 seconds each. And then we'll do power breathing again. We're going to do the hip rock as we're cooling down, and then we'll end up with the health bounce. So that's, I hope you're ready. Let's get started. And this routine, it's not on your Mr. Rebounder app yet, but we will be putting it under the Mr. Rebounder app as under the advanced section as the third weight loss routine. Oh, and I want to set up the monitor. So this is our Bluetooth device, and we're now connected. So that will tell us the total number of bounces we do. It's got an intensity meter, and it will show us the number of calories that we actually do in this particular program. So that's it. Oh. Okay, and Ricky, you want to find us some good music to put on?
No?
I could put the music on this if they want.
Yeah, I think it might copyright if we don't use that music.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. Keep bouncing. We're warming up. I'm going to start again, but we're going to put some music on. So I hope everybody had a good week. This movement up and down right here, if you do nothing more than this every day, it's like breaking up stress, tension, opening up circulation. This is the most important movement I think we can do. Okay. 30 seconds of just a gentle twist. And this is doing so much. This is the second most important activity I think we can do every day. Loosening up the lower back, massaging the kidneys, liver, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, and colon at the same time while it's loosening up the lower back. And swing those arms, it actually helps benefit the shoulders some too. Okay, the sprint. Halfway there.
All right, catch your breath. Jump or run. Want to keep your back over your heels. Push out on your knees. Halfway there. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Health balance. Jump around. I hope some of you are feeling this, because I know I am. What do you think, Ricky? She gave her thumbs up. 30 seconds. Ricky, can you turn on the fan?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. You meant to do that. 10. 5. 4. Health balance, 30 seconds. That's much better. Sprint. Hip rock. jump around. You have to do just a jump or walk. That's still very intense. If you have to stop and do a baby bounce and then do it again, that's fine too. We're at 30 seconds. You can put as much into it as you want, simply by bending your knees a little bit more. It increases the intensity. Anything about Cellercise, you can make it as easy or as intense as you want. 30 seconds, baby bounce. All right, moderate run. Thirty seconds. Five. 10 seconds. Seconds. By tilting backwards a little bit, we focus on the stomach wall. 15. 10. 5. Okay, if you made it this far, congratulations. This in and of itself has been a good aerobic activity. Okay, Whoopie Ski Patrol. We're going to do this for almost 2 minutes. Well, a minute and a half. When I get to the 1 minute mark, I'm going to put my feet together and do the ski patrol 2 right now. A little more intense, but it really helps with the knees. "30 seconds. "15. 10. 5. 'Jumbo run. We're really working on those thighs now. We're only doing this for 15 more seconds. 5. 'Baby bounce, 30 seconds. 5. 'Twist, 30 seconds. Catching your breath, getting ready for the next part. 10. 5. 3. Okay, moderate sprint. 30 seconds. 15. 10. 5. 'Baby bounce, 30 seconds. 5. 'Jump around, 1 minute. "30 seconds. As I mentioned, putting on the app and then watching a show. That's what we do, and it's fun. Ten seconds. 5. I'm not sure if you're able to see it or not, but the little round circle with the green around it, that tells you how much time each movement has in it. And that's what I'm looking at here. 10 seconds. Okay, moderate run. One minute. Seconds. Fifteen. 10. 5. 'Baby bounce, 30 seconds. Well, for those who are still at it, you're still doing aerobics. That's great. It's all weight bearing too for strength. 5 seconds. 3. We're going to do arm curls. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2. And we got a minute, 40 seconds. Okay, so you're pushing down and pulling up. And that's building up those muscles. And keep in mind, it's not just a resistance. You're also bouncing. On every bounce, that's more weight on those arms. Okay, a minute to go. You're not likely to hurt yourself on this one because you're not lifting weights. You're using your own body strength and increasing it. And they'll be lean muscles. They'll be strong, but they'll be lean. You're not going to bulk up like you do if you bodybuild. If you want to bulk up, then you should incorporate some weight training with Cellercise. Okay, other arm. Sneak up. Okay, 1 minute to go. Fifteen seconds. 10. 5. Okay, other arm for a minute. So back on the right arm, pushing, pulling up, and you're pushing down. And if this isn't intense enough for some of you who are 18, 19, in your 20s or 30s, that's young to me now too, just put more into it. Okay, other arm. One minute. 45 seconds left. In 30 seconds, this is where you really want to work it. Twenty seconds. 15. 10. 5. All right. Arm swirls in front. We're leveraging body weight to our shoulder muscles because we're bouncing with the arms out in front. That's building up shoulders. We're doing it for another 30 seconds now. 10 seconds. 5, then we're going to go out to the side. 'Cause some of you may say, well, that's not that hard. But by the time we're done, you may think differently. Keep in mind, when you're balancing with your arms out, it's a lot more weight on the shoulders than many people understand what it is. 30 seconds. Twenty. 10 seconds. 5. 1, overhead. So we're strengthening the shoulders, but we're also loosening them up. "30 seconds. "20. 10. 5. In front, 1 minute. If you hadn't felt it yet, you should be now. 50. 40. 30. 20. 15. 10. 5. 1 minute out to the side. If you can't do this, that's, the full time, that's okay. Just jog or do the hip rock or 30 seconds to go. "20. 10. 5. Overhead. 1 minute. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5. Okay. Forward jumping jacks. If you're able to, if you're not, just hold onto that balance bar and kick your legs out. This is more of an advanced movement. 20. 10. 5. 'Okay, pumping up. We'll do this for a minute. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 'Alternate arms. 40. 30. 'Your arms are loose enough, you can really stretch those up now. 10. 'All right, swing out. You do this routine regularly. For those who have issues with your shoulders, often they just fade away. Okay, with the ski patrol, kind of lift those shoulders up and down. You guys are doing great. Got 8 minutes to go. And hopefully you're feeling better already, because this just gets rid of the stress, tension, opens up that circulation, and you're burning a lot of calories. Huh. My battery on my calorie burner died. Okay. I thought about plugging that in earlier today. I forgot. "30 seconds, kind of tighten those stomach muscles. "20. 10. 'All right, we're going to sit down. Now you can have your feet on the floor if you want. All right. We'll loosen that up. "30 seconds. "20. If you're still on the Cellerciser, period, and you're bouncing, you're doing great. Okay, chest pushing in, 45 seconds. And stick those elbows out and push it. 30 seconds. 20. 10. 5 seconds, and then we're going to pull out. So, pull, arch your back a little bit, and pull apart. "20 seconds. All right, guys, we're down to less than 3.5 minutes to go. 5 seconds. Okay, push in again. 20 seconds. Really push in, you should be feeling something. 5. Okay, pulling out. 'Can you show that on the screen, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
No, your head wobble.
Oh.
That's cute.
Oh.
You're just kind of wobbling your head with the music. 20. 10. Now if you wanted to do a third set of this, you would feel it even more. But by gripping the fingers and pulling, you're working your wrist. Breathe. As well as your forearms. Okay, we're starting to wrap it up now. What I should have had you try is to touch your toes before you began the program, and then touch your toes afterwards. See how much more flexible you are everywhere. The Cellerciser acts like a massage, helping the cell membranes become and be more flexible. Okay, you shrunk. Baby bounce, up bounce. You did it. congratulate yourself. For those who stayed on it, fantastic. For those who really want to lose weight, this is a program that you can literally turn on the television show, watch the show. For those who are more ambitious, do the routine again. It's burning a lot of calories. I wish I could have told you how many calories, but I forgot to plug in my wireless module, so it kind of petered out on us. But congratulations, everyone. Brooklyn, were there any questions? That's not biased. Yeah?
My friend says that the veins have narrowed in her legs and the doctor wants to open them by putting in stents. Would Cellercising help her?
Cellercising can help increase circulation, especially in the legs. The movement up and down, weakest area of circulation in our body is in the lower extremities. It's the furthest area from the heart. So when we start to move up and down, we make it easier on the heart. But again, we have this constant pressure change, causing those blood vessels to pulsate and expand over and over. So over time, that can help with everybody's circulation. I think it's that baby bounce, health bounce, the most important physical activity I believe all of us can do every day of our life.
I'm 4 months in from a right leg injury, vertical split into the lateral tibia plateau. So she has 10 pins and 2 plates worth of hardware. Do you have any advice for using the Cellerciser at home?
Okay, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and repeat that.
I'm 4 months in from a right leg injury.
4 months in from a right leg injury.
A vertical split into the lateral tibia plateau.
Vertical split into the lateral tibia plateau.
10 pins and 2 plates worth of hardware.
10 pins and 2 plates worth of hardware. And she wants to know if she can use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Consult with your doctor. But that being said, if you're able to walk on the ground, you should be able to Cellercise as well. The advantage of Cellercising, just this movement up and down, when I had pins in my ankle, I healed very, very quickly. And I was told I'd never be able to use my ankle the same way again. Not true. Grace, who we know is our marathon runner and trucker and Ironman contestant, she did great. And when she fell and shattered her ankle, it wasn't during a competition. It just, she was hiking. And the doctors said that she healed by Cellercising. She said she didn't stop Cellercising. She healed a month faster in her 60s than their very best elite athletes. So that caught the attention of her doctors as well. And you can find Grace. We talked about her on our website. We're going to talk about her a lot more. She's healing great. But even putting a foot over the side, bouncing it and down, helps to move circulation. You can regulate the amount of weight that you can put on the leg simply by lifting your leg up some. But the movement up and down still creates G-forces and a pulsating effect to help reduce inflammation, increase circulation, and promote faster healing and strength. Anything else?
Can you rebound if you have a herniated disc?
Can you rebound if you have a herniated disc? Herniated discs are common. Lots of people get them. The short answer to that, if it doesn't hurt you, and depending on what movements you do, yeah. There are movements such as taking the elbow, sticking it over your head, leaning a little bit to open up the vertebral joints, and gently bouncing to help elongate the spinal column and the vertebral joints, doing the same thing on the other side, so that we can help open the vertebral joints up. One of the best movements, though, is when you lie down on the Cellerciser. And when you lie down on it and you put your feet up on a chair, you've seen me do it. It's in some of our other videos on our YouTube channel. But you put a towel behind their head, they lay down, move their arms out to this side. So they're laying right here, taking all the vertical pressure off the disc. So then we gently bounce them up and down. It's not a surface massage, it's a deep massage, taking pressure off the nerves
so that the muscles can relax. And then by gently rocking side to side, several minutes of this, and then several minutes of gentle rocking side to side, we help those vertebral joints and muscles loosen up so that we can help the disc, take that pressure off that disc so that they can move back into a better position.
Does rebounding affect acid reflux?
Does it affect acid reflux? There's a sphincter muscle there, and the Cellerciser is weight bearing on the sphincter muscle. It can help strengthen the sphincter muscle, if that's true. I don't have a lot of customer reviews on that. We've had people that have hernias where this has actually been helpful. So let me know. I'd love to get some feedback on that one. It's a good question.
And then the woman who has veins narrowed in her legs with stents wanted you to know that she also had a stroke and she's 74.
She had a stroke and she's 74?
Yeah.
Well, just know that your body isn't. Your body doesn't get old the way we often think. Cells get weak, and most of our problems, even as we get older, are weaknesses in our cells and body functions. And we can strengthen and improve the efficiency of our cells at any age, and that's what Cellercise helps to do. If you've had a stroke, if your balance, equilibrium has been compromised, you can have somebody stand with you. And as you're gently moving up and down, you're challenging brain activity up to 90% of it. As you do different movements, just very gentle movements, you're going to be challenging your vestibular balance and proprioceptors, just all the nerves, the little muscles, the fascia, all the layers of your muscles, so that often your coordination, your skills, your balance, rhythm, timing, dexterity, hand-eye coordination, those can all start to improve. And the movement up and down can help to increase oxygen blood flow to the brain. Taking, again, your fingers and doing those little circular movements while you're gently bouncing, you're moving fluid up and down, and you're helping to push that fluid into the vertebral joints, the disc, and the spinal column, and help feed that up to the brain. So those are all things you can consult with your doctor on too. Anything else? All right. Well, I hope we've had a good session. Thank you for many of you staying online for the entire program. I hope I was able to share something that was beneficial to you. If you have people that are struggling with weight loss and just want to feel better, that routine that we just did tonight, which will be on our Mr. Rebounder app, should be later this week, will be weight loss 3, number 3. That can help people. You can take it at different levels. You can improve the intensity. All I did on that routine, by the way, is I cloned weight loss number 2 on the app. So for those who have the app, who didn't, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I'll hit done, go back. If I go to any one of the workouts, so you go to advanced, for example, and what I did is I took second weight loss, I clicked on it, and then we've got a clone button here. And so I cloned that routine, and then all I did was add movements. So if you want to add movements, you add a movement, back kick, you put the amount of time you want to add the movement, add it to the routine, and boom, now I've got that movement in the routine as well. So that's all it is. And then you add another movement. I'll give you an example. Let's do something different. Something that's not up. Yeah, the rehab back. Okay, there you go, for shoulders. Now, if I put 6 seconds, I add to the workout, added it to it, and if I go back now and scroll down, you'll see I've got the back kick for a second, the shoulder rehab on the back, and I can add these different movements. If you want to take a movement out, here's where you can take the movement and delete it. So you can delete that movement, for example.
If you want to change the order of the movement, you just grab here and move it up to where you want it, and then release. When you're done, go back to the top, you'll save it, give it a name. You can actually put an image, go to your photo library, put an image in there, give it a name, describe it if you'd like, and then hit the save button, and it will go into your My Workout program. And that's how you do it. So real simple, a lot of fun. You can be creative. We're looking forward to hearing more about some of the routines that you're all putting together. But again, thank you. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. If you have any questions at all, if we can be of any help, please give us a call. And thank you. Thank you for sharing these programs with those that you care about. Thank you.